After the absence of a week, we are meeting again to deal with the chapter 13. I think we have to go to 24th shloka of chapter 13.
Yes,
If I'm
Gurumale. Yes.
yeah. Is it only one way to realize God? Is it only by reading Bhagavad Gita? Only by tapas? Or what is it like? That's a great question to be answered by Krishna. And as it is, he has said in this chapter, the kshetra is different in all of us, but the kshetrajna is the same. Only one cosmic consciousness expresses as different beings, not only human beings, all beings that we can see. How to realize this truth of oneness, that we are all an expression of that cosmic consciousness? Krishna is giving us a beautiful shloka now. Dhyanena atmani pashyanti kechid atmanam atmana अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन कर्म योगेन चापरे. The greatness of Bhagavad Gita is to be seen in this. It's not just one way you can realize that you are that. Some people see this truth in dhyana. Dhyanena atmani pashyanti. A small part of this shloka. You can realize it. Dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino. That is what we used to say in the beginning. Dhyanena atmani pashyanti. Even when I can sit without thinking that I am sure Swami, I am different, if I surrender completely in dhyana to Paramatma, the light in me is the same as the light in that cosmic consciousness. That is what he says, dhyani in atmani pashyanti. In dhyana, many people see their atman. Kechid atmanam atmana. Some other people will realize by themselves. Sometimes it happens, it is not necessary that a man must have done a lifelong tapas. Or maybe he did it last life. This life they suddenly get a realization that they are that. That they are that. Kechid atmanam atmana. One sees in oneself what is the truth. Anye sankhena. Second line, first part. Some people with sankhya, that is dividing. I am not body, I am not mind, I am not buddhi, I am not ahankara, I am not I. What is that I? I is the purest part of that. So analyzing, understanding of Atman by analyzing ourselves is Sankhya Marga. Anya Sankhyena Yogena, Sankhya Yoga, some people understand, Karma Yogena Chapare. Other people just to go on doing their duty on this earth. For Lokasangra, as he said, in the third chapter, 20th sloka, he gave the example of Janaka. Lokasangra mevapi sampashyam kartumalasi. You can also do for the Lokasangraha. That is to say, for the goodness of the society. Go on working. Don't worry about the result. Don't have an ego that you have been doing. You are committed to that. You have taken an oath. Go on doing it. Sometimes there will be failure. Sometimes there will be success. Face both and go ahead. I think I gave you sometimes the example of Baba Amte. He was a big, great advocate, having a lot of properties. One day he was walking along the road and saw a man lying at the roadside with total leprosy. limbs were all eaten up. Amte wondered what is this creature called, and later realized that it is the worst case of leprosy. That sudden shock of seeing the patient awakened him that he began to work for the rehabilitation of the leprosy patients. Thereafter, he never turned back. Worship is nothing but helping them in whatever way possible. He invested all the property that he had, gave up the greatest profession that he had as an advocate, went on working. That is Karma Yoga. I also give the example of great Shivkumar Swamiji of Tumkur, Siddhganga. He realized that many people do not have the means to get educated. So he began school in Tumkur for the children who are not able to get education. Lakhs and lakhs he trained. Not even considering what caste they are. No. It is the education that is to be spread. Dedicated his big life of 112 years or so, I don't know exactly, 108 or 12, but he served the people till the end. That is Karma Yogina. Taking a good action, in our team also, there is a guru who has made an organization to help the children who do not get education, help them to come up well. So such actions are karma yogas. They don't even expect that those who get educated have to surrender to these people. No. Their purpose is to educate. That is karma yoga. So they also realize me. How beautiful is this shloka? Dhyani in Atmani Pashyanti. Some people with dhyana, they see what is Atman. Kechid Atmanam Atmana. Some people see suddenly in themselves the Atman. Anye Sankhya Yogena. Some other people will get realization of this self, Atman, by analysis, Sankhya. Sankhya Yogena. And the last one, Karma Yogena Chapare. Some other people, as I gave you the example of Dr. Shivkumar Swamiji and Baba Amte, many are there, thousands are there. World is still having such great people. They also realize God is the greatest thing that Krishna has been telling. You can underline this shloka, we can recite. Dhyanen Atmani Pashyanti.
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन
कर्मयोगेन चापरे
कर्मयोगेन चापरे
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
ध्यानेनात्मनि पश्यन्ति
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
केचिदात्मानमात्मना
अन्ये सांख्येन योगेन
अन्ये साङ्ख्येन योगेन
कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
कर्मयोगेन चापरे.
Not only these four, there are more others. Anyetyo majananta srutvanyepya upasate. Some uneducated illiterates say for example, they listen that it is like that and began to meditate, began to do the upasana. Anye tyo majanantaha, not highly literate people, ajanantaha, shrutvaanyepya upasate. They will listen from somebody, begin to practice. Tepi chati taranteva mrityam shruti parayanaha. Look at the greatness of Bhagavad Gita. Even those people who cannot practice in the way he said in 24 shloka, they listen, say for example, a scientist giving a talk on Rama. This man is sitting there listening, has gone there sitting listening, and he will say in the meantime, if you repeat Ramanama so many times, you will realize that Atman doesn't know anything other than this. These words, Ramanama will get you, Rama will strike to him. And he begins to do the Ramanama Japa. Krishna also told us in chapter 10, Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. Remember? Of all the yajnas, I am Japa Yajna, he told. So this man begins Ramanama. Ultimately, he realizes. We are also told a story about Valmiki in the same manner. He was an ordinary hunter. He hunted a pair of birds which were enjoying their family life. And Narada said, you have done a bad deed. You can do the tapasya of Ramanama to overcome this evil that you did. And he goes on meditating on Rama. In fact, in Kannada, they say they gave the name Mara Mara. Tree is called Mara. Mara Mara became Rama Rama. He went on repeating the name. Entire Ramayana came to his mind, and he could write as one of the greatest writers of this country. He became Ramayana author. Those are many things that one can reach that end of really self-realization. Anyetyo majananta shrutva anyetyo upasate. Some people who do not know anything, just by listening, they will begin upasana. They will begin the prayer and realize. Tepi chati tarantiva. They also cross the samsara bandhana. Mrutyum shruti parayanaha. So they doing parayana, they also cross death. They also attain the deathless condition, which is said to be the realization Atmajnana. Another interesting, these two shlokas are very important because Krishna doesn't say this is the only way for you to realize. There are different ways. I usually give you example of you are going to the airport. It's not always one way to the airport from your house. Our GPS tells you to go in that way, which makes you reach faster than the other way. So also here are many roads leading to that self-realization. Let's recite. Anye tveva majanantaha
Anye tveva majanantaha
Rutvanyebhya upasate
Shrutvanyebhya upasate
Epi chati tarantyeva
Tepi chati tarantyeva
Mrutyam shruti parayana
Mrityum shruti parayana
Anye tveva majanantaha
Anye tveva majanantaha
Rutvanyebhya upasate
Shrutvanyebhya upasate
Epi chati tarantyeva
Tepi chati tarantyeva
Mrutyam shruti parayana.
Mrityum shruti parayana.
Continuing. Yavat sanjayate kinchis tattvam savara jangamam kshetra kshetrajna samyoga tadvitti bhartarshava. Krishna is a Jagat Guru. As a Jagat Guru, his words are not only for the first benchers, it is even for the last bencher. Therefore, Krishna repeats many of the ideas that he says in Bhagavad Gita with many examples in many places. And here he is saying once again that Yavat sanjayate kichit tattvam savar jangamam. whatever is there which is moving and unmoving. That is to say, the plant life and other lives and the moving life like humans and animals. Yavat sanjayate kinchit sattvam sthavarajangam kshetra kshetrajna samyoga tadviddhi bhartarshapa. Bhartarshapa is an address to Arjuna. Arjuna, know that everything that you see, living and rather moving and the unmoving, as the expression of kshetra and kshetrajna. If you see a tree, yes, it is kshetra and kshetrajna. Is there life? Yes, there is. Is there a plan in the tree? Yes, there is. How to know? I can give you example of some of the fruit trees. When a mango tree gives such wonderful mangoes, its intention is somebody must eat it. And when they eat it, they will also make the mango seed grow in their own area. If it is in a forest, there is a wonderful thing. Many of the forest animals come and eat the mango. Next day in their dung, the seed comes with a potentiality to sprout and become a tree in some other place. So there is a plan. In a jackfruit, say, what is the purpose of a jack tree in producing a fruit like that? Somebody will eat it and they spread the seed to the other places. So is the case with the coconut tree. They grow so high, up to 80 feet. God has given them such a wonderful cover outside that it don't break when it falls down. But like a football, it jumps into some other place. Every year and every month, a tree makes the ripened seed fall down. The reason is it has to sprout some part of it. So there is a plan like this in Stavara and Jangama. Even they know, or there is a desire to continue the creation like that. Yavat sanjayate kichit sattvam stavara jangamam. Whatever is there, moving and non-moving, is born here. They are all the combination of kshetra and kshetrajna. A living thing, whether man, animal, or plant, is a combination of kshetra, kshetrajna, tadviddhi bhartarshava. What a beautiful sentence. Look. Know that, Arjuna. Know that. Entire thing that you see is a combination of kshetra, kshetrajna. Not only moving things as human beings or animals, also the unmoving plant life and the other microscopic living beings. Whatever is there, moving or unmoving, is a combination of kshetra and kshetrajna. Realize that. When Krishna says this, he doesn't forget that Arjuna has to fight. Your practical life is very important. Your earning life is very important. Krishna said that you have no right to eat when you don't work. You remember that he said in 3rd chapter. If you eat like that, you are a thief, he said. Therefore, when you know like this and go on doing your work for the good of the living beings, you can realize this self. Tadviddhi bhartarshava. Know that, Arjuna, all things that we can see is a combination of kshetra and kshetrajna, body and the consciousness. A beautiful conclusion Krishna has been giving to Arjuna and to us. I think we can recite. Yavat sanjayate kinchit
यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित्
sattvam stavar jangamam
सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
kshetra kshetrajna samyogat
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात्
tadvidhi bharatarshabha
तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ
yavat sanjayate kinchit
यावत् सञ्जायते किञ्चित्
sattvam stavar jangamam
सत्त्वं स्थावरजङ्गमम्
kshetra kshetrajna samyogat
क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञसंयोगात्
tadvidhi bharatarshabha.
तद्विद्धि भरतर्षभ.
And greater is the lesson after saying this. God exists equally in all living beings. Not only He is in human being, in full, He is in all animals and all plant lives, and thus samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Look at the beauty of that line. Parameshwara says equally in all living things. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu. Not that he is bigger in me, he is smaller in a plant. He is equally there in me in the plant. He is equally there in you and even the God-raised man. The beautiful thing, Bhagavad Gita is great not because just it gives us directions to life, it also guides us to spirituality. That is, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Parameshwara exists equally in all living beings. Smaller, bigger. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Vinashyatsa vinashyantam yapashyati sapashyati. One who sees this permanent cosmic consciousness in the dying temporary body, he knows the truth. Our body will go after some years. We don't know when it would go for each one of us. I usually jokingly say, there is also an expiry date on us, like we see in the medicine strips. Don't take it after that time, it will get expired. There is also an expiry date in us. We can say 20, okay, 20 is clearly visible. After that, the next two numbers, we really do not know. 25, 26, 27, so on and so forth, it may go for a long time. But we don't know what exactly is the end word. So everything, body has to go. But we have to see the unchanging in the changing, that is knowledge. Vinashyanta vinashyantam yapashyati sapashyati. That's a great line. One who sees the changes in the changing beings. One who sees the changes in the changing beings. He knows the truth. That is, in the very beginning, Krishna said to Arjuna this. These bodies do not matter. Whether you kill Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha and so on and so forth, they do not matter. They will be reborn again. As dharma is there that you have to fight, that's all. Don't worry about the body, he said. He is also saying now, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Parameshwara equally exists in all living beings. He is as much present in a lion and a tiger and a deer and even the microscopic organisms. Vinashyanta vinashyantam. In the perishable thing, it is unperishable. In the things that are going to die, that doesn't die. One who sees this permanent thing in the temporary changing bodies sees the truth. Sees the truth. But we are more concerned about our bodies, not much concerned about that cosmic consciousness exists in me and in other places. Krishna says, your body may go one day, Arjuna, but there is something in you which you have to see, which was never born, which would never die. It was there, it is there, it will be there. You are in that way permanent. You are a small expression of the same cosmic consciousness. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. A beautiful line. Parameshwara exists equally in all living beings. Vinashyanta avinashyantam. In the things that die, one who sees the undying, this cosmic consciousness, or Atman or Brahman, whatever you call, or God, yapashyati sapashyati. He who sees it will see it, not others. That is to say, the entire world is his play and his expression. Whatever that we have been seeing is his expression. Whatever we have been doing is he is doing through each one of us. Good ones, they are peaceful. Those who bad are not happy with their living. I give the example Duryodhana. He was also an expression of the same consciousness, born to do what he did later. So is the case of Ravana or other Rakshasas. It's a big play going on here. What was in Ravana was there in Rama, what was in Duryodhana was there in Krishna also. The social activity is a matter of giving justice to the maximum people. That is to be done, that will go on forever. But the thing is, why it is so, we don't have an answer. I give you the example which I often give. Kaikeyi was born to send Rama to forest. We get angry with Kaikeyi. She did a wrong thing. No, she was born to do that. Rama was born to be in the forest to destroy the demons. Somebody needed there to send him out. Somebody was needed there to send him out. That action was done by Kaikeyi. From this angle, sometimes the bad we do also may be what we are born to do. I really do not know. But Krishna tells us, if you want to be peaceful, there is a way you can follow. In spite of every effort of ours, if something like that happens, maybe it was God's will it happened. Can't help it. So, vinashyantam yapashyati sapashyati. In the things that are going to die, one is the undying self. He knows the truth, not the others. We are all a combination of two things, Kshetra and Kshetrajna, as he said in the beginning. Padma madam, you unmute every time we unmute you, and you unmute and talk something. Yeah. So, samam sarveshu bhuteshu tishtantam parameshwaram. Parameshwara stays equally in all living beings. But that doesn't mean that we must surrender to every small living. We surrender to those who are Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavirastini Shunicheva Shopaketa Pandita Samadarshinaha. As he said in the 18th Shloka, 5th chapter, we surrender to the great. We surrender to people who can give knowledge. Though he is there, you don't go to an idiot to advise you what you have to do. Therefore, there are certain cares to be taken when we analyze shlokas like this. I think we can recite. Samam sarveshu bhuteshu
Samam sarveshu bhuteshu
tishtantam parameshwaram
tishtantam parameshwaram
vinashyatsva vinashyantam
vinashyatsva vinashyantam
yapashyati sapashyati.
yah pashyati sapashyati.
Samam sarveshu bhuteshu
Samam sarveshu bhuteshu
tishtantam parameshwaram
tishtantam parameshwaram
vinashyatsva vinashyantam
vinashyatsva vinashyantam
yapashyati sapashyati.
yah pashyati sapashyati.
Vinashyatsa vinashyantam, I think you have understood that. That looks a little complicated. So, in the dying thing, you have to see the undying. Vinashyata avinashyantam. Undying you have to see in the dying living beings. Is the changing living beings, that is what he said. Samam pasyanni sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram. Now comes a sthita prajna. Samam pasyanni sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram. This is a vision, as we had it in chapter 11. Seeing God in every living being is a vision. It could happen for a second, say a minute or so. Samam pasyanni sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram. Everywhere you see that Ishvara, equally present in all living beings. Nahi nastya atmanatmanam tato yati param gatim. That man does not destroy himself by himself, but he will get paramagati. Paramagati is the ultimate. Ultimately is the liberation. As we saw in the 8th chapter, our time of living body becomes very important. What a man does at the time of death will decide what he has achieved in life. Rarely we have seen many people taking the name of God and just close their physical existence, will merge back into that cosmic consciousness. They won't be born again. Samam pasyanni sarvatra. Sarvatra means everywhere, which you know that already, that word. Everywhere you see the existence of that Ishvara. Look here, we have two different sects fighting against each other. Shiva sect and Krishna sect. Look at Bhagavad Gita. Ishvara is a word he uses for himself. That's why I asked you to write in some part, Ishvara is equal to Krishna, Krishna is equal to Ishvara. What are we fighting for by doing, they are two different things. Samam pasyanni sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram. This Ishvara exists equally in every living being. Nahi nastya atmanatmanam. When one who observes this does not destroy himself by himself, that man gets param gatim. Underline that, param gatim. That is the ultimate thing that Indian culture asks each one of us to attain. To get out of the cycle of birth and death is the effort done. We are in this cycle. We will be in this cycle for a long time. But the end that a man, a human being has to think of is to put an end to this endless cycle of birth and death by realizing that you are that you have been looking for. What you have been looking for is you only. So same cosmic consciousness which exists in one, which exists in Stavara, which exists in Jangama, also exists in you. But a life that is fully satisfied, doing your duty to the best of your ability and offering everything at the feet of God, not having in the minimum of ego that I did, it happened through this body. That's all the happy feeling that my man might have. Then he will get Param Gatim. Paramagati is the highest. The end of life is to get this Paramagati. But for that, what we have to do? Samam Pashyanni Sarvatra Samavastitam Ishwaram. One must be able to say that, be able to see that Ishvara exists equally in all. In every creature that we see. That is, whatever you see, an expression of that cosmic consciousness, which you are one, which you are also that. When you see that, when you realize that, when you work after having known this, after understanding this truth, he will be different man. I think I took the name of U.G. Krishnamurti, a spiritual leader of the past. He is no more. You can Google him and find him. He was saying, this God realization is your death. You will be afraid and you will run away. Because you will not be there when that realization happens. That is what U.G. Krishnamurti was also saying almost. Death of this setup and opening of a new setup. That is Paramagati. You will realize the truth, see it, merge in it. You will understand it, merge back in it, leaving all small ego and dissolve into that cosmic consciousness. Sthittvasya kalepi brahma nirvana mrichyati. That is what is said in the last shloka of Sthita Prajna Lakshana. What would happen to a man when he gets moksha? Back into cosmic consciousness. No more individual existence needed for him to, because no more desire was left at the time of death. Completed all that he did, offered all back to the cosmic consciousness, left the body free, absolutely free himself from the karma bandhana. Samam pasyanni sarvatra samavastitam ishwaram nahinasthyatmanatmanam tato yati param. Underline that shloka also. One who sees everybody is an expression of that cosmic consciousness, everything. And one who does not destroy himself by himself will get that Paramagati. Paramgatim is the ultimate thing to be had. Yes, we can recite. Samam Pashyanni Sarvatra
Samam pashyan hi sarvatra
Samavastitam Ishwaram
samavasthitam ishwaram
Nahinasthyatmanatmanam
nahinasthyatmanatmanam
Tato Yati Parangatim.
tato yati param gatim.
Samam Pashyanni Sarvatra
Samam pashyan hi sarvatra
Samavastitam Ishwaram
samavasthitam ishwaram
Nahinasthyatmanatmanam
nahinasthyatmanatmanam
Tato Yati Parangatim.
tato yati param gatim.
And then this philosophy should make us realize some beautiful truth of life. Prakriti cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha. All activities that I do is not done by me, but by Prakriti itself. What is the Prakriti? Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Two gunas in us. In different ratio. Some have Sattva more in them and some have Rajas more in them, some have Tamas more in them. But we all have all in different ratio. Prakritaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha. One who sees all action he does is the action done by Prakriti through him. Yah pashyati tatatmanam akartaram sapashyati. One who sees that the actions are going on because of the Prakriti in me, and then he can see akartara, underline that akartara, non-doer. This self is not a clear observer of all things that are going on in each one of us. Sakshi, that's what he said in the very beginning. Kshetrajna is me only, he said. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetramitya vidiyate. This body is the kshetra, he said. Etadyo vetitam prahuhu kshetrajna, he said. That is the first sloka of this chapter I am repeating. Kshetrajna is one who knows that there is a small one, me in each living being. The purest one is Kshetrajna. He sees everything, doesn't say anything. Kshetra. Kshetrajnancha bimam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. In each kshetra I am the seer. In each kshetra, whether it is human beings, animals, plant world, microorganism world, the kshetra is that which sees everything, not the doer but the seer. Kshetrajnancha apmam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. What is ultimately jnana? Kshetra kshetrajnor jnanam yata jnanam matam mama. One who says what is kshetra and what is kshetrajna is the knowledge. That is what I tell you. He said in the very two beginning of the shlokas. Repeating it. Prakritaiva cha karmani kriyamanani sarvashaha. All work that you have been doing is that you have been doing because of your prakriti. That is your sattva guna, your rajo guna, your tamo guna. Yapashyati tat atmanam. One who sees the non-doer, the self, atman, akartaram sapashyati. Kshetrajna is akartara. Akartara doesn't do anything. But if you say that you want to do something bad, he says, okay, you do it. He doesn't say, no, don't go. But he warned. But still you want to say that you want to do it. No objection. Because he is only a seer. Akartaram sapashyati. He sees the akartara, the Atman in himself. There is an akartara in each one of us, which has been watching each one of us from the beginning, at every level of growth, even now, until we leave the body, it will be passing through us. Akartara. Akartaram sapashyati. Akartara is non-doer. Kshetrajna is non-doer. And a great man will see this non-doer, akartara. And that is the end of our investigation. When we see that akartara, that life is paripurna, sampurna, good, fit for liberation. And what is doing work in each one of us? Three gunas. Some sattva is there, we act according to it. Some rajoguna is there, we act according to it. Some tamoguna is there, we act according to it. Krishna is a great teacher. He speaks completely about these three gunas in the next chapter. We will come to that later. But no, just know, you just know, akarta, prakriti is the combination of three gunas in each one of us. Prakriti cha karmani kriyama. Whether you like it or not, you are going to fight the war. Arjuna, Krishna said to Arjuna. Do you remember in Vishwarupa Darshana? Even if you say, I do not find these people are not going to live, they are going to die, he said. Your duty is to do what you are born to do, that's all. Prakriti cha karmani. Only Prakriti does karma. Kriyamana nisarvasha. Every karma is done by your Prakriti, that is Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, of which we are all a combination. Yapashyati, one who sees Prakriti is doing the action, Sattva-guna is doing the action, Rajoguna is doing the action, Tamoguna is doing the action, then you will see this Akartara. Akartara is a perfect observer of what is going on. You will see that, and that is the truth, and that is Atman, that is Brahman, that is God. I think we can recite. Prakritaiva cha karmani
प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि
kriyamanani sarvashah
क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः
yah pashyate tatatmanam
यः पश्यति तथात्मानम्
akartaram sa pashyati.
अकर्तारं च पश्यति
Prakritaiva cha karmani
प्रकृत्यैव च कर्माणि
kriyamanani sarvashah
क्रियमाणानि सर्वशः
yah pashyate tatatmanam
यः पश्यति तथात्मानम्
akartaram sa pashyati.
अकर्तारं स पश्यति.
And then यदा भूतपृथग्भावम् एकस्त्वमनुपश्यति तत एव च विस्तारं ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा. Entire existence, when he sees an expression of that cosmic consciousness, when one sees clearly the condition of distinct in beings as having its existence in one Atman, whether it is a man, whether it is an animal, whether it's a plant, and so on, it is all expression of the same Atman. And from that one alone, its projection. So it is expressing itself in front of us in different forms. And he gains Brahma Sampadhyate Tada. Underline that Brahma Sampadhyate Tada, the second part of the second line. He will get into Brahman. He will realize Brahman. He will get back to Brahman. That is, he will realize the truth. He will then know that I am not the doer, I am the seer. There is a difference between a doer and a seer. He is a seer, sees everything that is going on. And that he realizes. And different, prutak bhavaha. Prutak bhava means different kinds of existence. Human beings, animals, plants, and so on. Ekastam anupashyati, sees only one in each one of us. Same cosmic consciousness which is in me is there in a tree, is there in a lion, is there in a tiger, is there in a rabbit, and so on. Whatever is there, it is there. When one sees that, akartaram sapashyati, tata eva cha vistaram. Then he says, entire existence is a vistara of that Brahman. He is showing in the form of planet, he is showing in the form of universe, he is showing in the form of animal, he is showing in the form of small creatures. When he realizes the truth of this, there are two things which we have to know. One is understanding, one is experiencing. Understanding may be easy. Experiencing it may need the blessings of that cosmic consciousness to each one of us. We must be waiting, that's all. I don't have anything other thing to say. Just be waiting. If it could happen, it would happen. If not, live happily with the understanding of this. Even the God realized man will not say, I have realized God. They will also very sincere. I am yet to know it, they say. You are that, you know that, but it's not in ego that you know that. You become too humble to say that you do not know that. That's what we see in great people. So when one sees everything that we see is an expression of that cosmic consciousness, and it is his vistara. The entire universe we see is his vistara, that is his expression. Then he realized that Brahman. He gains Brahman. I think we can say. Yada bhuta prutak bhavam
यदा बोधपृथक् भावम्
ekastamanu pashyati
एकस्तम् अनुपश्यति
तत एव च विस्तारं
तत एव च विस्तारं
ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा
ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा
यदा भूतपृथग्भावम्
यदा भूतपृथग्भावम्
एकस्तमनुपश्यति
एकस्तम् अनुपश्यति
तत एव च विस्तारं
तत एव च विस्तारं
ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा
ब्रह्म सम्पद्यते तदा